everybody, this is Fate of Tarkir, back for more reactions to Transformers Prime. First off, I'd like to apologize that it's taken so damn long to get to this next set. My reaction should be apologizing. Shut up! My reaction schedule is going to be a little wacky. So, anybody who's been watching these and wondering why I haven't been adding any every week, that's the reason. Also, I don't know how to edit this shit. I got somebody else doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got that going on. So I won't be yapping much right now, so that way we can just get this over with. So, what?
You should
Well,
recap what you remember. Remember that much.
Alright. Let's see. Where I left off was, Scrap Heap and Con Job. Scraplets! They're kind of adorable. Until they try to eat you. Although there is that one Scraplet that was just way too attached to Raph. It was more of a pet than anything. That was just weird. Throws a bolt. It goes to get it. He thinks he's playing fetch, but no, it ate it. You're not supposed to. You'll check. Okay, maybe not. Then it just scuttles up to him and just goes.
Yeah, okay, that part was a little weird.
It just rubbed up against him and made like a slight purring noise. That's just weird. And of course, they beat the Scraplets by sending them into sub-zero weather. Where was that, Antarctica?
I don't remember which Arctic it was.
Pretty sure it was Antarctica.
I don't know.
It's like the coldest spot on Earth. And if I'm wrong, you guys can let me know in the comments.
And then Con Job?
Oh, great. Wheeljack.
You not likey?
I didn't like Makeshift.
Ah.
I mean, he played Wheeljack pretty well until he fucked up. He couldn't get some of the memories straight.
That's true. They didn't have a actual download of all Wheeljack's memories available.
Nope. So yeah, Makeshift did pretty well for a little bit, then crap, I don't have enough data. And then basically Bulkhead figured him out and beat the living shit out of him. Then the real Wheeljack showed up and helped. The Wreckers were back in action. Wrecking bots and kicking balls.
With wrecking balls.
Exactly. I mean, Bulkhead can make a giant wrecking ball on his hand, so... Wheeljack has swords. Oh well.
Oh, and we have titles this time too. Any speculations?
Well, for Convoy and Deus Ex Machina?
Yep.
Nope. I mean, with Convoy, I'm guessing some sort of transportation. Deus Ex Machina? No idea. I mean, that's a video game series. An actual movie, I think.
Ex Machina. Very different.
Oh.
But it is, well, I mean, the premise of the movie is very different. But it's based on the same phrase, and it is a good movie, actually.
So yeah, there's multiple interpretations for this. So I have no idea what the hell's going to happen.
It does help if you know what the actual phrase means.
I don't. So yeah, speculation over, recap complete. Let's just get this going. Starting the show in 3, 2, 1.
Back on YouTube.
Yeah. We are back. Oh, right. How am I gonna...
Which one did you like to talk? Well, yeah, let's start there. Which one of those two did you prefer compared to the other?
You can't take my dingus. Oh, God. Imagine Fowler with a southern redneck accent.
I don't want to.
Why not?
One is kind of racist.
2?
Just makes me think of Forrest Gump.
Is there a 3? Do I hear 3?
Those are the only two reasons I can think of right now.
Okay, what if he wore a trucker hat too?
So you also preferred episode 9.
I mean, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Silas being a prick.
Okay, so yeah, we can start there. Silas Mac.
Pretty obvious name for a company that's working with cons.
Well, they're not working with cons. Well, yet.
I mean, they had air support, so...
It was,
either that, or the cons were just working in their own interest like normal.
Yeah, it was a pretty big coincidence that Starscream just...
I am willing to bet Skyscream was like, alright, aerial unit, go. And they're just standing there like, Soundwave says go. Soundwave sends their instructions to them. They're like, yes, sir.
I mean...
The ground units listen to Starscream. Aerial units listen to Soundwave.
Ironically not? Really?
Wait, so the ground units listen to Soundwave and the aerial to Starscream?
Starscream is supposed to be the Decepticon air commander.
And yet, Soundwave does a better job than him.
Well, Soundwave just does a better job at everything than Starscream.
Exactly. Starscream's just a little ambitious. Okay, sorry, a little is putting it lightly.
So we have human antagonists.
Cons are coming. Oh, wait, no, never mind. They're humans. And they're still trying to do a snatch and grab with a dingus. I'm sorry, but Fowler's not up for... what, trade?
Okay. How can I do this?
Anybody who wants a piece of Fowler's dingus, get in line.
Okay, so their motives. You heard the rant about New World Order and all that.
Kinda like a war between the New World Order and nudists.
The nudists. Okay, so that Fowler's or Silas's basic idea is just we want the most advanced technology possible.
Why is this reminding me of all those evil scientists in Maximum Ride?
Mm-hmm.
Saying the new humans should be doing everything better to save the world than the previous shit.
Darwinist, evolutionist, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's the same kind of...
The only people that will survive will be the most advanced.
Pretty much, but...
And these guys in Mech are saying, the only ones that will win will be the most advanced.
The distinction there being that Mech is going through technology rather than biology.
Evolution. Well, there's multiple types of evolution, so...
Right. I mean, obviously...
Oh my god, it's just like Pokemon.
Oh my. That's... Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's fucking robot Pokemon. I kind of lost my thought there.
Mech being assholes.
Yeah, but there's something specific. Right, okay, so...
Listen up. Sorry.
Mech already had some fairly advanced technology. I mean, they had some pretty sleek-looking cars. They had some helicopters.
Guns with laser cutter on it, too.
Right.
And a type of ammunition
guns.
that latches onto shit and only targets humans.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw them launch it, when I heard Silas say, knock them out, originally, when I saw the thing land inside the actual engine part of the train, I thought he was trying to short-circuit the electrical systems in the train to make it stop. Nope, it just sent an electric current throughout the entire train, targeting biomass.
Right, so they have some pretty advanced tech, but obviously not the most advanced tech anymore.
Well, duh. They're facing off against giant robots that can change to look like anything.
So, with that in mind, I think it's...
And that brings me to a question.
Okay.
That I'm pretty sure you've answered before, but I don't know. When a bot chooses its mode for its vehicle, does it keep the data from a previous mode, like stored away inside a databank? Or is it completely wiped and replaced with the new one?
That is a very good question, and honestly,
Because if it's actually stored in a bank, then they can change which vehicle mode they go into if they need to. Like if their current mode has been compromised, like if they're recognized in that mode, they can switch back to a previous one or so.
See, okay.
I mean, when you look at Skyquake, he didn't really have a good mode to use until he scanned a government jet.
Yeah.
And by the way he looked, he had a vehicle mode. Either that or just...
Cybertronian one. Or
yeah.
at least he should have.
Either that or Cybertronians stay inside like a pure bot mode until they scan a vehicle. Like on Cybertron, I'm guessing there's not really that many vehicles.
Okay, there are Cybertronian alt modes. I'm pretty sure of it. Well, obviously there are. We've seen Megatron's alt mode. So, and I'd say that counts. Since there's no obvious cockpit or anything.
My guess is default Cybertronian.
Maybe. Well, not really. I mean, it's obviously customized to his appearance. But...
You know what I mean. Like a default transformation specific to him.
Right.
Until he scans something else.
Okay, so there is... It's the answer to your question is somewhat... It's not really complicated, but there are multiple answers. For one thing, it sort of depends on which show you're watching.
So basically, which continuity verse?
A little bit. There's also characters like Makeshift,
who basically just has the ability to morph into other beings.
Right, and characters like him kind of break the rules a little bit.
Good thing he was only there for a little bit.
And then there's also the Triple Changers, which this series never got around to introducing. But they appear in most other series. So, those, they...
Well, at least RC turns into a motorcycle and not a fucking moped.
I mean, for heck's sake, actually, going back to U1, there's like a couple bots that have like 6 different alt modes. I think the record is from a anime series, and it was like 10 alt modes.
Holy fuck.
And
let me guess, it was a Prime.
No.
It was a Con?
It was the leader Con, yeah. But it was an anime, so it's weird and it doesn't count. But yeah, so some of them, specific ones, can have multiple alt modes, and some of them are expected to. Certain names are associated with characters that have multiple alternate forms.
I was just wondering because by now most of the cons already know what the Autobots look like in their vehicle modes.
That's a good point.
I was just wondering if they had like backup modes to switch to.
And here's the most complicated part, because this is not the only show that is supposed to take place in this continuity. There's also the Rescue Bots series.
Ugh.
It was aimed more at children, and there are some discrepancies, especially in the appearance of the robots, but they are supposedly the same characters.
I mean, Ratchet is technically, his vehicle mode is that of an ambulance.
Ratchet is not one of the ones that appears in Rescue Bots.
You'd think he would, since he's basically the medic.
Optimus and Bumblebee do. And while they're in the Rescue Bots show, they take on several different forms compared to what we see here.
Yeah, here B's just a fucking Camaro and Optimus is an 18-wheeler.
Including separate alternate forms, but they don't have those alternate forms all the time. They switch back and forth. So there's some issues there. I don't really know what the right answer is for this particular continuity, but my guess is they can change their alt mode, but generally speaking, they're locked into one at a time. So
sucks.
If they want a new one, they have to scan it.
That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. Right, that was a huge question that completely threw me off track, by the way.
I'm sorry, but basically we were just talking about Silas and Mech and their advanced tech, but not too advanced.
My question was, the show pretty clearly set it up for Mech to come back.
Come back?
To be a threat again at some point in the future.
Oh, I was about to say, they just got introduced. What do you mean by they're coming back?
So my question would be, like, what do you expect to see from them in that future?
Silas being even more of a prick, keep trying to get other weaponry from basically any source possible.
Okay, yeah, that sounds...
He's more of a mercenary than anything. From what I can tell, he acts more like a mercenary. And he's always going after the bigger, better stuff. Basically, a mercenary that wants to be on the cutting edge of weaponry.
You know?
And I can actually think of him meeting up with, I don't know, Soundwave or somebody like that.
That would be a very interesting way to explore, wouldn't it?
I mean, with the scars he has, either he was actually in the forces, or he was a merc working for them. Or some other force entirely.
That's some good character, or good detail noticing.
I mean, those scars are kind of hard to miss.
True.
And the way he presents himself.
Oh, yeah.
Confident.
Well, I mean, he is voiced by Clancy Brown, so...
No clue who that is.
He's a pretty famous voice actor.
But I'm not talking about, like, I'm talking about, like, his bearing, the way he presents his whole being.
I get it. I get what you mean.
He basically exudes confidence that basically comes from years of battle. Years of survival.
He knows how to swing his dick around.
Basically! Now I want you all to duck, because I'm going to turn left, and I don't want to hit you with my dick.
So...
I'm going to turn left, and I don't want to hit you with my dingus.
My reason for liking that episode mainly comes down to the fact that it had a train fight.
A what?
A train fight.
Oh, right. You love your train fights.
I love train fights. There's some of the best fights in any kind of media.
Ruby.
Yeah. Fucking Volume 2, Volume 6.
I mean, we had Zwei literally use his own aura to become a flaming ball.
God, how long did it take me to realize that he had aura?
Long enough. You probably saw him catch fire and you're like, he's gonna burn! Oh, wait, why isn't he burning?
No, I was just like, the fuck? Look, it's cool, it's funny, but why?
And here's something I didn't get from that. You know how that tunnel had all these things up top, like you would put billboards on a highway?
Mm-hmm.
You had these big old mechs getting hit from behind! And yet none of them are going doing, 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 doing.
I guess maybe they, like, magnetized or bolted to the train.
As far as I could tell, they weren't magnetized or bolted. They were just walking on and running on it.
I mean, for that...
You would think that amount of force hitting them from behind would make them fall off.
How the fuck did Team Ruby stay on with the wind going as fast as it was?
I mean, Ruby can move fast enough that she could probably beat the train anywhere. Weiss only really has to use her glyphs to make her stay in place.
True, but she didn't.
Yang is basically too strong for her own good. So knowing her, she could probably use some type of muscle control in order to stay on. And Blake is a cat. They can stay on anything.
Frankly, you said that was great.
And then there's Oobleck, who talks and moves too fast for his own good.
Yeah.
We think he's drinking coffee, but yet...
It's jet fuel, or something.
It's high octane right there.
Or maybe it's just vodka.
That wouldn't cause him to talk like...
I don't know, different people act different when they're drunk.
And then there's Professor Port.
Who's actually cooler than what he seems at first, but... this is not Ruby.
Nope.
And we have not talked at all about the second episode.
Deus Ex Machina.
Right, so did you actually catch the red robot's name?
No.
His name is Knockout.
Doesn't look like a knockout.
See, he would hate you for that.
What?
He said he would hate you for that if he heard it.
Oh, trust me, I know how to hide.
But you did catch his partner's name.
Breakdown.
Mm-hmm. So they got a sort of big guy, small guy duo.
It's one way to put it. One of them's pitching, the other's catching.
Well, I mean, that's somewhat obvious. Wouldn't be confirmed for a while, but basically.
I mean, one of them's got the big stick. It's not his fault it's electrified.
Yeah.
And yet the tip of it looks like it would for a wrench. Like he could just take it to a giant bolt and go. Tighten bolts. He could tighten it, loosen it, or. Oh, that felt good.
But yeah, so the first half of that episode or so is pretty good. It's only when they get to the museum that things start to kind of, yeah, like.
I still find the way they did the camera thing just dumb.
That was dumb. The fact that Bumblebee and RC are suddenly so incompetent that they just get taken out by missiles and smack into each other. The part where Bulkhead runs on the roof of the museum
and doesn't aim for the idiot on Optimus.
Well, there's that, but also the fact that he was running on the roof of the museum
and nothing broke.
That and the fact that didn't somehow cause the camera thing to shift. But fucking that a minute later he gets smacked into there and that causes it. Like it's very.
I mean, he did get whacked straight into Knockout, so.
I don't know. I know. It's just there's a lot that had to happen in that museum sequence,
and yet nobody bothered to pick up that electro stick.
For a lot that had to happen to actually allow the cons to even take the damn thing away, and you know once that happened,
and Soundwave was just like, okay, well they're being idiots.
Once again, Soundwave MVP.
Time to go.
And yeah, what is this?
A gift for Lord Megatron.
Second or third time that Soundwave has had a rare like prize in his grasp and then let it go.
The best rare prize he had? Blackmail on Starscream.
Or Starscream, I meant. Did I say Soundwave? I meant Starscream.
No, not. I mean, Soundwave is the one who took the orb. It was the unmanned drone vehicle that was Soundwave.
Yeah, I know, but like, okay, so we've had this Energon.
But I'm just saying the Soundwave taking the orb and actually claiming the prize is just lording it over Starscream.
I mean, I guess.
And then there's where I'm pretty sure he saw it. Starscream go. Mine.
Oh, yeah. No, we haven't dealt with that yet. But I'm pretty sure he has that footage.
But I'm pretty sure he has that footage.
Yeah, I know. But I'm pretty sure he has that footage.
But I'm pretty sure he has that footage. Somewhere.
But, like, Skyquake, this Energon Harvester, Starscream's getting a track record of gaining control of something very powerful.
And then losing it.
Immediately.
I know. Wait, what are you doing? Get away from me! No, 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 no!
The fact that he wasn't actually backing up when he said that.
Probably couldn't. I mean, from what I could tell, he was pretty close to a cliff. And when Bulkhead punched him, face went in. Well, punch straight to the face, head goes through the cliff.
Oof.
I'm gonna do what I do best.
Break shit.
Although it wasn't a regular type of explosion, it was more like a pulse wave.
Yeah, it was very much an energon explosion.
I mean, it blew up like an EM pulse.
That is... Wait, is that... No, that's not the first time we've seen energon explode, because we saw it in the first episode.
Yeah, also with the space bridge as well. That had energon flowing through it. But that blew up more like the goddamn Death Star.
But they all looked blue.
Exactly, but this one, it had the blue explosion, yet it had the wave of like an EM pulse going outward.
I mean, that begs the question of what would happen if somebody were standing right next to it.
They'd be liquefied.
Well,
I am sorry, but the heat from that would liquefy anything.
Maybe.
Well, probably it'd partially melt a Cybertronian, but depending on how thick their armor is. Because any explosion that big or concentrated, any kind of energy that's that concentrated will be superheated when exploded.
I wonder if melting was, like, too gruesome for this series.
Probably. Unless you're melting a bot.
No, that's what I meant. I mean, there is...
I mean, they had a melted scene in Slime when Rimuru melted the Armosaurus using poison breath, and they had to censor it. All you saw was a censored blob mass that looked disgusting.
You want to know something funny? In MLP, which I know your feelings on the series, but in MLP, season, I want to say it was 8 or 7 or 8, there was actually a scene that showed creatures that looked like ponies partially melting. So, don't know how the fuck they got away with that, but it was pretty great.
But yeah, the Energon extractor basically goes boom.
Yeah.
After getting crushed, and me predicting it. I'm like, what would happen if you dented that thing and it got to the point where it had to explode? I mean, it has all that concentrated energy. I just wanted to know what would happen. Oh my god, I'm Gazzy and Iggy. I love explosions.
You're a guy.
No, I just love things that go boom. Anything that's dangerous. Including animals. Dangerous animals.
Oh.
Deadly ones.
Yeah.
I really wish I could have a wolf as a pet, but that's illegal.
You can have a half wolf.
Actually, they've made that semi-illegal as well.
Really?
Yeah, my Uncle Jason and Uncle Ray used to have 2 half-wolf dogs. Duke, and I forget what the other one was. Duke was the eldest. He got hit by a car a few years after I met him. And he still lived, but he had a very, very pronounced limp. He was a good boy. But both of their dogs had wolf DNA in them.
Must have been some big dogs.
I think Duke, with his back standing tall, was about this tall.
Damn.
He was a biggie. Yeah. But yeah, after a while, they actually made a law saying if any of your pets have more than, I don't know, 0.25% wolf DNA, you have to register them or you get rid of them.
Well.
Since wolves are considered deadly animals.
I guess.
and wolf DNA in a dog can go bad. Very bad. When technically all dogs are descended from wolves.
They are, but there's a difference. There really is.
Yeah. Dogs nowadays are descended from ones that got domesticated.
Domesticated and tamed.
Yep.
Like, even...
And then all the dog breeds came into being.
Like, a wolf that's in a zoo is basically domesticated, but they're not...
But not tamed.
Right, so...
Then you have the wolves in wildlife preservation areas. They are kind of domesticated and slightly tamed, but only enough that they don't harm...
They're used to people.
True, unless you get a little too close to their territory.
And
then that's...
fucked. Yeah.
I don't know which is more territorial, a wolf or a bear. Depends on the territory. Because if you're just going inside...
Very good question, actually.
A mother bear is very territorial. If you get anyone near her kids, her cubs, she will go after you because that's her territory. A wolf pack, though, you go anywhere near the edge of their territory, they will try to warn you off. You keep encroaching, they will attack.
I think the wolves might be a little bit smarter.
Well, duh. If they know if they're going to be fighting something bigger than them, they team up. The wolf fears everything. Except when alone. Well, they don't fear anything except for when they're alone. A lone wolf is easy target for a lot of predators. But if the wolf has its pack nearby...
I'm a lone wolf. Alpha.
You throw me to the wolves and I will return leading the pack.
That's a cool quote. What is that from?
Actually, background for a phone wallpaper.
Oh, so it's just a...
But it is pretty cool.
Probably comes from some stupid right-wing website or some shit.
Mm.
But yeah. Convoy and...
Although one of the backgrounds I used to have for one of my previous Samsungs said F blank CK. All they need is you. Kind of fucked up, but... And on that totally unrelated and random note, I am signing off. See y'all next time.